Okay, back to it. So we just described the revolting Bert from the burger van. Bert's burger van didn't offer much of a menu. Burger in BAP, 79p. Burger only, 49p. BAP only, 39p. And there were no restaurant stars added as yet. The food was just about edible if you were absolutely starving. You had to pay an extra 5p for a squirt of ketchup, although it didn't taste or look much like ketchup. It was brown and had little black bits in it. And if you complained, Bert would shrug and mutter breathlessly, "It's my own special recipe, dears." To Zoe's horror, Tina Trotz was already there at the front of the queue. If she hadn't been bunking off lessons anyway, she would surely have intimidated her way to the front. Spotting her, Zoe put her head down even further so that all she could see was the tarmac. But her head wasn't far enough down to go unrecognised. "Rat girl!" shouted Tina. Zoe popped her head up to see the long line of kids all looking at her. Some of her classmates were now in the queue, and they all started pointing and laughing. Soon it was like the whole school was laughing at her. Never had laughter sounded so cold. Zoe looked up for a moment. Hundreds of little eyes stared at her. But it was the figure of Bert hunched over in his van whose face she was drawn to. His nose was twitching, and a large gloop of slobbering saliva fell from the corner of his mouth into Tina's lap. Zoe couldn't go home. Her stepmother would be in the flat watching daytime TV, smoking fags and stuffing her face with prawn cocktail crisps. If Zoe had told her why she was suspended, there's no way she'd be able to keep Armitage. Most likely Sheila would instantly exterminate him with her big heavy foot. Zoe'd have to peel him off the sole of her stepmother's very pink slipper. Quickly, Zoe considered her options. 1. Go on the run with Armitage and hold up banks like Bonnie and Clyde and go out in a blaze of glory. 2. Both have plastic surgery and go and live in South America where no one would know them. 3. Tell her dad and stepmother that it was Adopt a Rodent week at school and there was absolutely nothing to worry about. 4. Claim that Armitage was not a real rat but an animatronics one that she'd made in science class. 5. Say that she was training the rodent for some top secret work for the intelligence service. 6. Give Armitage a white hat, paint him blue and pretend he was a toy Smurf. 7. Make 2 hot air balloons out of her stepmother's gigantic bra, one large, one small, and fly off the roof to another country. 8. Hijack a mobility scooter and speed off to safety. 9. Invent and build a dematerialisation machine and beam herself and Armitage to safety. Or 10. Just go to Raj's shop and have some sweets. Unsurprisingly, Zoe chose the last option. "Ah, Miss Zoe," proclaimed Raj as she opened the door to his shop. The bell rang as she entered. Ding! "Shouldn't you be at school, Miss Zoe?" Raj asked. Yes, I should, muttered Zoe, downcast. She felt as if she was just about to burst into tears. Raj rushed from behind the counter and gave the little ginger girl a hug. "What's the matter, young lady?" he asked, pressing her head into his big comfy belly. It was so long since anyone had given Zoe a hug. Unfortunately, though, her braces got caught in his woolen cardigan, and for a moment she was stuck to him. Oh dear," said Raj. "Let me just detangle myself." He gently prized his cardigan from out of the metal. "Sorry, Raj." "No problem, Miss Zoe. Now tell me," he began. "What on earth has happened?" Zoe took a deep breath and told him, "I've been suspended." "No, you are a very well-behaved child. I don't believe it." "It's true." "Whatever for?" Zoe thought it might be easier to show him. So she reached into her breast pocket and pulled out her rat. Screamed Raj. He scuttled away and climbed on top of the counter and then stood for quite a while screaming, "Ah! Ah! I don't like mice, Miss Zoe. Please, Miss Zoe, I beg you, please put it away." "Oh, don't worry, Raj, it's not a mouse." "No?" "No, it's a rat." Raj's eyes bulged and then he let out a deafening scream. "Ah!" No, please, pleaded the newsagent. I don't like it. Ting! An old lady entered the shop and looked up amused at the newsagents perched on top of his counter. Raj was clutching his trouser legs. What little hair he had on his head was standing on end, and he was trampling all the newspapers in terror with his big clumsy feet. Hello, Miss Bennet," said Raj, his voice shaking. "Your Knitting Weekly is on the shelf. You can pay me next time." "What on earth are you doing up there?" inquired the old lady quite reasonably. Raj looked over at Zoe. Surreptitiously, she put her finger to her mouth, imploring him, "No, don't tell." She didn't want everyone to know she had a rat, or soon the news would spread to the estate and her dreaded stepmother. But unfortunately, though, Raj was not a natural liar. I just bought some space dust," said Zoe, stepping in. "You know, the popping sweet. It had been left out in the sun and became highly explosive, and when I opened the bag, it sprayed over the shop." Yes, Miss Zoe. A most regrettable incident, because it's only 15 years since I had the shop repainted. I am just trying to pick space dust off the ceiling." Raj came across a particularly ingrained piece of dirt on the ceiling and he scratched at it. "Space dust everywhere, Miss Bennet. Please pay me next week." The old lady shot him an unconvinced look and peered up at the ceiling. "That's not space dust. That's a piece of snot." "Oh, no, Miss Bennet. That's where you are wrong. Look." Reluctantly, Raj used his fingernail to prise away the bogey he had long since sneezed up there and popped it in his mouth. "Pop, pop. Oh," he said unconvincingly, "I love space dust." Mrs. Bennet looked at the newsagent as if he was quite mad. "It looked more like a big piece of snot to me," she muttered before leaving the shop. Ding! Raj quickly spat out the ancient bogey. "Look, the little thing's not going to hurt you," said Zoe. She gently took him out of her pocket. Cautiously, Raj clambered down and slowly approached his worst nightmare. He's only a baby. Soon Raj was eye level with the rodent. Oh, well, here's a particularly pretty one. Look at his dinky little nose, said Raj with a sweet smile. What's his name? Armitage, said Zoe confidently. Why is he called that? Zoe was embarrassed. She'd named her pet after a toilet and simply said, oh, it's a long story. Give him a stroke. No, he won't hurt you. Are you sure? I promise. Come here, little Armitage, whispered the newsagent. The rat squirmed closer to Raj to be stroked by this frightening-looking man. Ah! He made a lunge at me, shouted Raj, and with that he ran out of the shop, waving his arms in the air. Ding! Zoe followed him out and saw he was halfway down the street, running so fast the Olympic gold-winning sprinters would be given a run for their money. Come back, she shouted. Raj stopped, turned round and reluctantly plodded back to the row of shops. And when he finally tiptoed the last few paces towards the girl and his pet, Zoe said, he was just trying to say hello. No, sorry, but he got quite close. Don't be a baby, Raj. I know, sorry, he's lovely really. Raj took a deep breath, reached out to give Armitage the gentlest of strokes. It's nippy out, let's take him inside. What am I going to do, Raj? I can't take him home. That woman hated my hamster. She's never going to let me keep a rat. Well, maybe you should set him free. Free? Said Zoe. Yes, rats are not meant to be pets. But he's so cute. Perhaps, but he will grow. But I love him, Raj. I really do. I know, Miss Zoe, and if you love him, you should set him free. Oh. Join me next week where we continue the story.